A lot of Warzone 1 fundamentals carry over to Warzone 2, but there are some key differences, and not realizing them might be holding you back in getting consistent wins. In this video, I want to talk about one of those key differences, specifically the different circle timings, and explain why it's often getting you killed, give you some strategies on how to deal with these new circles, and finally give you some tips on how to get the win in the end game. I'm not saying that all of this is 100% correct, but this is my take as of now. If at any point you agree, disagree, or want to add something, let me know down in the comments. I'll try to respond to each comment, and if you like this kind of content, subscribe. Alright, let's get into it. First off, the circles. Currently, the game is very slow paced in the early game. That's circles 1 and 2. And as soon as you pass the midway point, let's say circle 3, you'll really notice that the circles start to collapse faster and faster. One of the high win rate strats for Warzone 1 was staying on the outside and rotating into every new circle. This is a problem in Warzone 2 because the early game is so slow that if you stay too much on the outside, playing it passively, you're not equipping yourself fast enough. That is, you likely don't have everything that you need in the end game: 3-plate satchel, self-revive, good weapons, your durable gas mask, kill streaks, and so forth. There's also no free loadout. And the end game is coming in fast because circles 5 and 6 are going at a breakneck pace. That stalker playstyle of rotating from the outside to the inside won't work anymore because you often can only outrun the gas if you go straight, and that's where you get killed, right? You would need to rotate in a circular motion. But with these circles, you can't do that, so what should you do? Past the midway point, circle 3 or so, you need to transition and either go more into the new circle instead of staying on the outside, or have an idea where the final circle ends up and go to the absolute center. In doing so, you avoid those bad rotations, the gunfights with the gas in your back, or those situations where players already in the circle hold you in the gas and pick you off easily. Instead, those are the easy kills you'll get when moving early. But moving into the circle brings up a huge issue. Now you can get beamed from literally all sides because you're in the middle of it. When you're on the outside, rotating into every new circle, there aren't that many angles you can get shot from. That's the whole purpose of the correct circular rotations. But in the middle of the circle with all other teams or solos rotating in, it's much harder to manage all angles people can come in, see, and shoot you from. So being in the middle of the circle, yes, you can camp technically, which removes most of those angles. If you're ADSing the stairs or you're somewhere in the toilet, I'm not judging, but you will have to move eventually, and at that point intel is a necessity. If you don't know where enemies are, you're no longer playing a high win rate strategy in this game, you're just hoping for a lucky win. So what you need to be doing is get as much intel on your surroundings as you can. Intel is key in Warzone 2.0, you need it to stay alive, and these are a couple of methods. The most straightforward way to get intel on your surroundings is very simply looking around. This might sound silly, but you want to be in a spot where you have a good field of vision without being too exposed or where you can get rushed. Rooftops or top floors of buildings that have windows are good places for this. Most of the time you want to be checking strategic angles where enemy players might move in from. Another way of getting intel is UAVs, but those are limited. That being said, if you can pocket a UAV and keep it until the moment you have to move, your odds of getting beamed on that rotation go down drastically. But it doesn't have to be a UAV. This game provides so many options that I think haven't really been discovered fully on how to get intel. What has helped the most for me is recon drones or even bomb drones. These have a lot of reach and you'll be able to get a good snapshot of who is around you. Speaking of snapshots, I'm not really sure if snapshot grenades are any good or whether they're reliable. Because the range is pretty limited, but let me know in the comments if you've had any success with them. There are other field upgrades that are great for intel, such as the portable radar, which gives you a mini UAV, and also the tactical cameras. Tactical cameras especially sounded really gimmicky to me at first, but you don't have to operate them for them to be effective. You just stick them on a wall or a ceiling and your heads-up display will tell you if the camera spotted anything. Excellent for setting up a perimeter to check angles you can't really cover, like staircases or just angles that are hard to check. Also, there's a perk that allows you to refresh field upgrades in Warzone. And since intel on your surroundings is so important in this game, I think we'll be seeing more people run strategies with field upgrades in the future. So then, last step, what do you do with that intel in the end game? You check where players are and only take the gunfights that you can win easily and where you likely won't get third-partied by somebody else. Or the gunfights that you need to win to get to a better position or make your rotation significantly safer. If neither of those apply, you focus on your rotation and your position because that's what it takes to win consistently. I know it's not flashy, but that's what it takes to win a battle royale. Then, in the end game, circles 5, 6, and 7, the importance of position and rotation apply even more, but now the circles are so small, getting third-partied is very, very likely. So the game plan for those later circles should be stay out of sight, make rotations early, and only get kills when they're easy or clear your own rotation. Circle 8 is the first moving circle, and this is where things get so hectic, and it won't just be one gunfight, it'll be a chain reaction of players killing each other, third-party fiesta, and you want to stay out of it at all. The best way to do that is with a durable gas mask. You can get it in the shop, or a normal one if you don't have anything else. If you have a streak, throw it in the circle to create more chaos. Chances are, after circle 8, it's already a 3-man situation, and that's your cue to take a proactive position. You want to wait for the final 2 to fight and then use your position to ambush the last guy. It's not pretty, but it's effective, and it's gotten more effective in Warzone 2.0 with the slower movement and the fast circles. So that's it. Long story short, early circles are too slow to rotate on the outside and still fully equip yourself with what you need. Later circles are too fast to make the circular rotations that we're used to. The answer, during the mid game, you should probably transition and go to the center of the circle. The caveat is that you are now much more exposed, and to deal with that, you need intel on your surroundings, and ways to get that intel is what we discussed earlier. The late game is all about positioning and safe rotations, which usually means don't get into any gunfights unless necessary and get ready for that top 3 situation. If there was anything unclear, if you have questions or you agree, disagree, let me know in the comments. You can catch all gameplay live on my Twitch as well and hang out and chat. One strategy in particular on intel and wins in general that I have not discussed is the strongholds. Capturing one of those gives you a permanent UAV, and I tried to use that to get the win in this video, so check that out if you're interested. Like if you've picked up anything that was useful for you in this video, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and see you in the next one.